The sun had already disappeared behind the broken towers of Earth's last city when Commander Raiden Cole found the signal. His helmet display flickered with a faint green light, pulsing in the darkness like a heartbeat. He stopped on the edge of the ruined street, his boots crunching against shattered glass. The air smelled of burnt metal and ozone, the aftertaste of war. Raiden zoomed in on the beacon's coordinates. It was human. A survivor signal. He didn't expect to find any, not here. 3 years had passed since the first alien invasion had burned through the northern continent. The aliens, called Velriths, were cold insect-like beings with silver carapaces and too many eyes. They saw humans not as enemies but as experiments. The few who survived told stories of being taken, studied, changed. Raiden didn't like those stories. He pressed forward through the rubble, his exosuit humming softly. The city was silent except for the wind. A few drone carcasses lay scattered on the road, their wings broken and cores drained. Raiden scanned them briefly. No energy readings, then he saw it. A collapsed building, half buried under alien resin. The signal was coming from inside. He moved fast, activating the exosuit's arm servos to push debris aside. With every movement, dust filled the air, turning the beam of his helmet light into a glowing tunnel. The scanner beeped. There was movement inside. A human life sign. Weak, Raiden's heart thudded in his chest. He tore open the last wall, and there she was. A young woman lay on the floor, covered in dust and strange blue liquid that shimmered faintly under his light. Her clothes, what remained of them, looked fused with thin alien fibers. They pulsed like veins, moving slightly under her skin. Raiden froze for a moment. The Velriths had done something to her. He knelt beside her, checking her vitals. Pulse, barely there. Breathing, weak but steady. He tapped his wrist console and sent a quick command. A medical drone detached from his backpack and hovered nearby, scanning her body. Human DNA confirmed. The drone reported in its calm tone. Foreign biological material detected. Possible infection or integration. Raiden clenched his jaw. Integration. That was the word the scientists used for the ones the aliens changed. Most never survived. He didn't have time to think. The drone showed her temperature dropping fast. The alien material on her skin was pulling heat from her body. If he didn't act soon, she would die. He reached for his survival kit. Inside were thermal wraps and sterile field clothes. He hesitated for a moment. She needed her clothes changed immediately to stop the alien material from draining her life. But the sight of what the aliens had done made him pause. He told himself it was just another mission. Just another life to save. He carefully cut away the alien fibers using a heated blade. The material sizzled and curled, retreating like it was alive. The woman gasped weakly as if the burning fibers hurt her even in unconsciousness. Raiden murmured softly, trying to calm her, though she couldn't hear. "It's okay. You're safe now." He cleaned the blue residue with sterilizing foam and replaced her damaged clothes with a clean survival suit from his pack. As he worked, he noticed strange marks along her shoulders and neck, thin glowing lines that pulsed faintly, as if something under her skin was alive. His gut twisted. These weren't scars. They looked like circuits. When he touched one gently, his helmet sensors flared with energy readings, unknown but powerful. The alien technology was fused directly with her nervous system. He stepped back, staring at her. "What did they do to you?" he whispered. Suddenly, her eyes snapped open. Raiden froze. Her irises glowed a pale blue just for a second, before fading back to normal human color. She tried to move but winced in pain. "Don't move," he said quickly, steadying her shoulders. "You were hurt. I'm here to help." She blinked slowly, her voice weak. "Where am I?" "You're safe," Raiden said. "You're on Earth. I'm Commander Raiden Cole, Terran Defense." Her gaze flicked to the broken ceiling, then back at him. "They took me. The Velriths. I remember." Raiden leaned closer. "What did they do?" Her eyes filled with confusion. "They said they were fixing me, making me better." Raiden's blood ran cold. He looked at the faint blue lines again. "Better how?" She shook her head weakly. "I don't know," they said. I could hear them now. The hive. Before he could ask more, his helmet alarm beeped sharply. Motion detected. Several hostile signatures approaching fast. Damn it. He grabbed his rifle and stood up. "We need to move." "Can you walk?" She tried, but her legs buckled. Raiden quickly scooped her into his arms. adjusting his exosuit to balance the weight. Outside, faint clicks echoed down the streets. Alien scout drones. They were searching. He activated his stealth module, turning their suit lights to minimum and moving through the shadows. Every sound seemed louder. The wind, the soft hum of alien tech, the woman's shallow breaths. They made it 2 blocks before one of the alien drones spotted them. A metallic shriek filled the air as it launched a beam of plasma toward their position. Raiden rolled behind a wall, shielding her as the blast tore through concrete. "Hold on," he said, pulling out a grenade and tossing it. The explosion filled the night with blue fire, shredding the drone into pieces. But more were coming. He checked his radar. 6, maybe 7. Too many to fight with one arm occupied. He ducked into an underground tunnel entrance, sealing it behind them. Inside, the tunnel was dark and damp. Old train tracks ran through the middle, half covered by debris. Raiden set the woman down gently, scanning her again. The alien marks on her body were pulsing faster now, glowing brighter. Temperature rising, his drone reported. Energy levels increasing. Unknown source. The woman's breathing quickened. She looked terrified. "It's talking to me," she whispered. Raiden frowned. "What is?" "The Hive, they're calling me." "They know where I am." Raiden's eyes widened. "You're saying they're coming?" The ground shook violently as something massive moved above them. Dust rained from the ceiling. Raiden grabbed his weapon, his heart racing. Then her eyes glowed again, brighter this time, lighting the tunnel with blue light. She screamed, clutching her head. The air around her shimmered with strange energy, bending light itself. Raiden stared, shocked. His sensors went haywire. The alien technology in her body was activating, and he realized what the Velriths had done. They hadn't just experimented on her. They had made her a weapon. The tunnel shuddered as the strange blue light from the woman's body spread across the walls. Raiden shielded his eyes, trying to understand what was happening. His helmet sensors flickered, giving off error warnings. The air buzzed like static, and every hair on his neck stood upright. "Stop! You're overloading," he shouted, reaching for her. But the woman couldn't hear him. Her body arched in pain, glowing brighter until the light burst outward like a wave. The energy hit Raiden and sent him crashing against the tunnel wall. For a few seconds he saw nothing but white light. When the brightness faded, the woman collapsed, trembling. The glow under her skin dimmed again, leaving faint blue traces like lightning scars. Raiden pushed himself up, his suit sparking. "You okay?" he asked, breathing hard. She nodded weakly, her voice shaking. "It's quieter now." The Hive stopped talking. He scanned her vitals again. The alien energy inside her had stabilized, but readings showed an active power source connected directly to her heart. Whatever the aliens had done, it was permanent. Raiden sat beside her, thinking fast. If the aliens could track her, they would find them soon. But he couldn't just abandon her. She was human, even if the Velriths had changed her body. And more than that, she might be the key to understanding the alien technology. He looked at her carefully. "Do you remember your name?" The woman hesitated, then whispered, "Lyra." "Okay, Lyra," Raiden said softly. "You need rest. I'll keep watch." She smiled faintly, exhausted, before her eyes closed again. Hours passed. The sounds above ground grew quieter. Raiden used the time to fix his damaged armor and recharge his drone. He kept glancing at Lyra. She slept uneasily, twitching sometimes as if fighting dreams. When morning came, the tunnel filled with faint daylight from cracks above. Raiden prepared a ration pack and heated some water. Lyra woke, her eyes clearer than before. "Where are we going?" she asked. "To the outpost," he said. "It's 30 kilometers east." "They can help you there," she looked unsure. "What if the Hive finds me again?" "They won't," Raiden said firmly. "Not while I'm here." She watched him quietly, then nodded. They moved through the tunnel until they found an exit. The city above was silent, rows of empty buildings and ash-gray skies. The war had left nothing alive, but Raiden knew danger still lingered. As they walked, Lyra began to remember pieces of her capture. She spoke softly, her voice echoing between the ruins. "They took me from the colony ship," she said. "The Velriths didn't kill us. They studied us. They said humans have something they don't." Raiden frowned. "What do you mean?" "They called it the spark. They said it's what makes us adapt so fast, survive anywhere." She touched her chest where the blue marks glowed faintly. "They tried to put it inside themselves, but it didn't work. So they used me instead." Raiden's stomach tightened. The Velriths weren't just experimenting, they were trying to become like humans. Do you know what they wanted you to do? He asked. Lyra shook her head. They said I was the bridge, the link between the hive and something new. Before Raiden could reply, his scanner beeped. Motion ahead, fast. He raised his rifle and signaled Lyra to stay behind him. Out of the mist came 3 metallic shapes, Velrith hunter drones, each armed with plasma claws. Stay down, Raiden shouted. The first drone lunged and Raiden fired. Blue plasma ripped through its body, scattering glowing shards. The second one dodged and fired back, its energy blast grazing his shoulder armor. Pain shot through his arm, but he ignored it. The third drone tried to circle around. Before Raiden could react, Lyra screamed and a shockwave of blue light erupted from her again, this time controlled. The wave struck the drones like a hammer, sending them crashing into nearby walls. Raiden turned in shock. Lyra stood trembling, her hands glowing, eyes bright with alien light. I didn't mean to, she began. Raiden stared at the smoking wrecks of the drones. You did that? She nodded, terrified. I felt them coming. I just wanted them to stop. He lowered his weapon slowly. It's okay. You saved us. She looked down at her hands. But I felt them die, Raiden. I felt it through the hive, like part of me killed them. Raiden hesitated. He didn't know how to comfort her. Whatever link she had with the aliens, it was deeper than he understood. They reached the outskirts of the city by noon. From there, the land opened into dry plains scattered with metal wreckage from the old war. The outpost was still a few hours away. As they walked, Raiden kept watching the horizon. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being followed. Lyra seemed lost in thought. Do you ever wonder, she said quietly, why they hate us so much? Raiden looked at her. The Velriths don't hate. They don't feel anything like we do. They just want control, she nodded slowly. Then why do I feel what they feel? Before he could answer, his helmet suddenly picked up a coded signal. Human encryption. Relief filled him. That's our people, he said. They're close. They followed the signal to a ridge overlooking a small valley. Below, hidden under camouflage nets, was a Terran defense outpost. Raiden contacted them. This is Commander Cole. I've got a survivor. Requesting entry, a voice crackled through. Copy that, Commander. Gate opening. The steel doors slid open and they entered. Inside, the base buzzed with activity. Soldiers, engineers, medics. It felt alive, a rare sight these days. A medic team rushed forward and guided Lyra to a medical bay. Raiden followed, but a security officer stopped him. Commander General Reeves wants to debrief you. Raiden nodded, glancing at Lyra as she disappeared behind the glass doors. Keep her safe, he said firmly. The officer saluted. Yes, sir. In the command center, General Reeves studied the data Raiden transmitted from his suit. The older man's face was grim. So she's integrated with Velrith biotech? Yes, sir, Raiden replied. But she's still human. She can control it, at least for now. Reeves frowned. That makes her dangerous. If the hive can use her as a beacon, this base could be compromised. Raiden stepped forward. She's not a threat. The Velriths experimented on her, but she saved my life twice. We owe her a chance. The general sighed. I'll consider it. But if she loses control, we can't risk the entire resistance. Raiden clenched his fists but nodded. He knew the rules. But he also knew what humanity stood for. Meanwhile, in the medical bay, Lyra sat quietly on a bed as machines scanned her. The doctors whispered among themselves, unsure what to do with readings that didn't make sense. Through the glass, she saw Raiden arguing with the general. She could tell he was fighting for her. Suddenly, her vision blurred. The lights flickered. A cold voice echoed in her mind. Lyra. Return to us. She gasped, clutching her head. No, she whispered. Leave me alone. The voice grew louder. You are the bridge. You belong to the hive. Her heart raced. The blue light under her skin pulsed faster, matching the rhythm of the alien signal. The medics panicked as machines beeped wildly. Her energy levels are spiking. Lyra cried out as the room shook. Raiden ran in, pushing past the guards. Lyra, look at me. She met his eyes, tears streaming down her face. They found me. The alarms blared across the base. The sky outside turned dark as shadows moved through the clouds. Alien ships descending. General Reeves shouted orders. All units to defense positions. The Velriths are attacking! Raiden grabbed his rifle, standing beside Lyra's bed. We'll get through this, he said. She shook her head. No, Raiden. They're not coming for everyone, he froze. Then who? Her voice trembled. They're coming for me. Outside, the first explosions rocked the ground. The Hive had found their bridge, and humanity's last defense was about to be tested. Explosions rocked the Terran defense outpost. Outside, the sky burned with alien fire as Velrith ships hovered above, scanning for targets. Smoke and dust filled the air, mixing with the acrid smell of plasma blasts. Inside the command center, General Reeves barked orders. Soldiers ran past screens showing approaching alien walkers, their silver carapaces glinting in the sunlight. All units to defensive positions! Protect the med bay! Raiden's eyes darted toward the medical bay. Lyra was still inside, trembling but awake. The blue lines on her skin pulsed faster than ever. The Hive was trying to take control again, using her as a beacon to guide the alien forces. He gritted his teeth. I'm not letting them have her, he muttered. Raiden burst into the medical bay. Lyra flinched as he grabbed her hands. Focus on me, Lyra, not them. Only me. Her breathing was ragged, but she nodded. The glow under her skin stabilized slightly, matching the rhythm of his own heartbeat, or at least the way he imagined it should be. Outside, the first Velrith walkers reached the base perimeter, their limbs cutting through the steel barricades as if they were paper. Soldiers opened fire, but the plasma beams barely scratched the carapaces. Raiden, we can't hold them, shouted one soldier. Raiden didn't answer. He looked at Lyra, determination burning in his eyes. We'll hold them together, he said. Trust yourself. Trust me. Lyra swallowed hard, then focused. A surge of blue light shot from her palms, forming a shield around the med bay. Alien plasma beams struck it, scattering harmlessly into the air. The soldiers stared in awe as the shield pulsed and expanded, giving them space to regroup. The first breach came from the west gate. A massive Velrith walker smashed through the barricades, crushing vehicles beneath its legs. Raiden grabbed a soldier and pulled him to safety, then sprinted toward a vantage point. Lyra, can you hold the shield longer? He shouted over the roar of battle. She nodded, sweat dripping down her face. I think so. But I need a plan. Raiden scanned the battlefield. The aliens were organized, moving with precision, guided by the Hive. If they reached the command center, everything would fall. But if he could get Lyra to focus her energy outward, into the ground beneath the aliens, they might stop them. He pointed to the largest walker. That one. Use them as a target. Direct your energy into the ground. Shake them off their feet. Lyra hesitated, fear flickering in her eyes. Can I really? Raiden's gaze was steady. You're human, and stronger than any of them realize. I believe in you. Remember the spark they wanted? It's yours, Lyra. Use it. A deep roar echoed as the largest walker charged toward the medbay. Lyra's hands glowed brighter and the floor beneath it cracked. A pulse of energy shot through the ground like lightning striking stone. The walker toppled, smashing into its companions. Soldiers cheered, though the battle was far from over. Raiden helped Lyra steady herself. Her skin had a faint blue afterglow, the marks from the alien integration calming. You did it, Raiden said, smiling for the first time since finding her. She shook her head, exhausted. I didn't do it alone. You were there. You saved me first. Raiden glanced at the command center's screens. More ships were descending, but humanity's fighters were scrambling into the sky. Terran defense had brought reinforcements from hidden bases. The fight wasn't over, but the tide had shifted. From the command center, General Reeves addressed everyone. Hold your ground! Every human alive is part of this fight. Today we show the Velriths that they can't break us. Raiden turned back to Lyra. We're going to the roof. You can help guide the fighter drones from above. You have to see everything at once, she nodded weakly. Raiden lifted her carefully and they climbed the stairs to the rooftop. The wind tore at their suits, carrying the smell of smoke and ozone. Above, the battlefield looked like a nightmare. Alien ships hovered like metallic clouds. Alien walkers marched forward and humans in powered suits were engaging them in combat. Raiden activated a drone relay on the rooftop. Lyra, use your link. Guide the drones to the ships. Aim for the propulsion units, they can't fly without them. Her eyes glowed, blue light streaming across the rooftop. Lyra focused and the drone signals pulsed with energy. One by one, human fighter drones soared into the sky, targeting alien ships with deadly accuracy. Raiden watched as ships exploded, falling in pieces onto the ruins below. Lyra's control was precise. She wasn't just powerful, She was brilliant. Suddenly, an alien signal hit her mind, a concentrated push from the hive. Lyra staggered, glowing lines on her skin flickering wildly. Raiden ran to her side, holding her steady. "You can fight it," he said firmly. "Focus on your spark, not theirs." She clenched her fists, teeth gritted. I am human," she screamed. Blue energy surged outward, blasting a group of walkers apart. Raiden felt a surge of hope. She was winning, but the hive wasn't finished. A massive shadow appeared on the horizon, the Hive Queen's flagship descending rapidly, bristling with weapons. All drones froze as the alien ship hovered above the city. "This is it," Raiden said quietly. "We end this now," Lyra turned to him. "I can reach it, but it will take everything I have," Raiden nodded. "Do it, I'll be right here. Humanity believes in you." She closed her eyes, focusing every ounce of energy. The blue lines on her skin flared, then expanded into a blinding aura that stretched to the sky. Her hands shot beams of light directly at the flagship. The alien ship shuddered, shields glowing red as they tried to resist. The ground shook violently as the energy struck, crumbling buildings and scattering walkers. Human fighter drones dodged and fired, synchronized with Lyra's power. The flagship's hull cracked. Energy exploded outward, and for a moment time seemed to freeze. Then the ship tore apart in a massive explosion, falling in pieces to the plains below. A cheer erupted from the base. Soldiers rushed to hug one another. Dust settled over the ruins, revealing the survivors. Raiden ran to Lyra, who collapsed, exhausted but alive. He caught her gently. "You did it," he said. "You saved everyone." She smiled faintly. "We did it together." Hours later, after the battle ended, Lyra sat on the command center balcony, looking at the sun rising over the broken city. Raiden joined her, silent for a moment, letting the warmth of the morning sink in. "Do you think they'll come back?" she asked. Raiden shook his head. "Even if they do, humanity will be ready. We survived this because we didn't give up, because we fought together, because humans are stronger than they think." Lyra nodded, looking down at the faint blue marks on her arms. "And even with what they did to me, I'm still human." Raiden placed a hand on her shoulder. "Exactly. That's what makes us amazing. No matter how powerful the aliens are, our spirit, our spark, will always shine through." For the first time in years, the city didn't feel like ruins. It felt like hope. Together, Raiden and Lyra looked out at the horizon. The battle had ended, but humanity's journey was far from over. The spark they carried, the fire within, would guide them forward, stronger than any alien threat. And somewhere deep in space, the shattered flagship of the Hive Queen sent a signal, a warning to the stars that humans were not to be underestimated. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans fight not just to survive, but to thrive.